Hello, fashion enthusiasts. As promised, we're launching our podcast to share our perspectives on fashion, lifestyle, and everything in between. Don't forget to follow our Instagram at Ambiance Slow and Ambiance Paso, and YouTube at Ambiance Boutiques to catch all the latest news and VIP promos.
Welcome, Courtney.
I'm so happy to be here. My name is Courtney. I am the founder of Sparkle Bands.
And tell everybody what Sparkle Bands is.
So Sparkle is a watch band company. We do watch bands and leather accessories.
For smartwatches, right?
For smartwatches. We've made some for not so smartwatches.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, intellectually challenged watches. And then we've moved into all sorts of other accessories too.
So I'm going to start this off with you telling me one of your most embarrassing moments.
What? That wasn't on the list. Okay, I will tell you my embarrassing moment. It's actually really kind of fitting because it's this time of the year that it happened. We were having a Thanksgiving party, like with family, and we were all around the big table. And there was somebody there, like
which is not allowed this year.
Which is not allowed this year. We normally have like 35 people, and we host Thanksgiving every year. But we were at somebody else's house, one of our other family members, and they had a friend there who didn't know that it's not our holiday tradition to say what we're thankful for. So like we don't do that. I mean, we say that every day, but like not at Thanksgiving. You know, we're a very untraditional Thanksgiving family. So anyway, she was like, let's all go around the table and say what we're thankful for. So our family's looking at each other like, oh, seriously? Okay. So anyway, it gets to my turn and I'm so nervous that I like black out. And maybe it's like, maybe I was the first one, which made it even more nervous. But I literally like gave a patented Miss America style what I'm thankful for. And I said like
world peace.
I said I'm thankful that the troops are coming home. Like what? And Joe was looking at my family's looking at me like, did she really just say that? Like what troops? Like what did they really come home? I don't know. Like I'm not even that type of person that would know that type of thing at that time. I don't even think they were coming home or they were even there. I mean, aren't they always there? I don't know. It just seemed, it was so embarrassing and I get crap for it all the time now. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have a list.
What's
of
your most
questions.
embarrassing since we're like throwing that out there?
Oh, what's my most embarrassing moment? I usually live an embarrassing moment at least once a day. It probably would have to do with my husband, who is a very gassy human. And he's very comfortable with it. So he oftentimes does it in public and then
like vocally, like audibly gassy, or
yes,
is it like silent stalkers?
No, it's loud. We've been out in public many a times where he'll do it. He'll fart and it's super loud. And then he'll turn around and look at me and say, oh my gosh, and then walk away.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
But we laugh about it. I'm always shocked at how quickly he's comfortable to do it around people he barely knows. Those are usually the more embarrassing because it'll be like an intimate dinner.
Oh my gosh.
He also prefers to pee outside.
Oh my gosh.
So
you guys
I
are
think
in the perfect place for that though.
It's true.
This is like wilderness.
You know, when we could have dinner parties, we'll have people over for dinner and he'll just get up in the middle of a conversation and walk outside for no reason. I'll have to explain to people like, sorry, he's just had to pee outside.
Maybe he's like eco-conscious and he's saving water.
True.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think it's a guy thing. We can't understand it, you know?
It's true.
Yeah.
I love him for it.
Yeah. Do your sons do that too?
Pee outside?
Yeah.
Or fart? Both. Yes. Well, you grew up with girls. I have boys.
I know,
it's very different. I have a girlfriend who's never farted in front of her husband.
Seriously?
Never.
I just feel like, you know, that's your best friend if you can't fart in front of each other. I don't usually have audible farts. Mine are usually silent stalkers. So.
It all comes out.
Yeah.
So we're going to switch gears here a little bit. I invited Courtney on the show because she has a lot to share about becoming a successful small business owner. I've known Courtney for, how long have we known each other? Like probably at least a decade.
Yeah, definitely.
And she used to have a really successful resale company that was predominantly eBay based, right? Like you had a website, but you a lot of your business
It
came.
was mostly eBay.
And as technology has shifted, and I know one of the things that people really use a lot now instead of eBay for resale is Poshmark. You decided to shift your focus, and you've been making watch bands for how long?
So I've been making watch bands for about 5 years now, but it was mostly like I made them for myself, and because I had a smartwatch. I don't know when Apple first came out with the Apple Watch. Apple Watch was probably 5 years ago, you'd say. So
Yeah.
like I got it.
Maybe a little longer even.
So I got it after the first year because I didn't really like the silver one, and they came out with a gold one, and I liked the gold one. So but I wasn't happy with the bands. Like I wanted to wear them out like when I went out, and I wanted it to be stylish, and the rubber bands were just not. So I started making them for like fancy occasions, and I made.
Do you leave your phone at home when you wear your watch band if you're going out? Is it
I do now. At first, when they first came out with it, it wasn't like they didn't have cellular service, so you just still had to have your phone. But I loved that I could like be out at an event, like do you remember events? Do you remember events? They used to be
What's
so much
that?
fun. You used to be able to like get dressed up and go out to events. Yeah. So like I would wear a fancy dress, and then I would leave my phone in my purse. And I loved that like if my family would text me, like if our kids were doing something, I would be able to know without like being looking at my phone,
Right.
So, and I loved like counting steps too. I became like quickly obsessed with like closing my circles. But anyway, like you can't wear a rubber band with like a beautiful dress. So I started designing them for myself. And then
And the first band was like a leather braided. Was it the Christie?
actually my first band was like a crystal band, and it was made from
Oh.
like a stretchy, like fancy bracelet. And I took it apart and like added watch adapters, and it made it like a special stretchy bracelet. That was the first one. The second one was my Christie band because I'm very boho, like that's part of my style. And so I designed that one with my friend Christy, who was going through chemo at the time. She was like really into making jewelry, and I went over there and helped, and she like kind of helped me build it. And that was
I didn't even know the story about that. That's a cool story.
Yeah, that was so we donate 10% of the proceeds of all of our Christie bands to cancer, but she unfortunately didn't survive. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, that's okay. And we named it after her. So she lives on in that way.
That's beautiful. I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank
And
you.
I don't know if for those who are listening, if you don't follow Courtney already, you should. It's at Sparkle
At Sparkle
Bands, but spell it because it's
SPARKLBANDS.
And she is on there a lot. They do have limited drops of their bands now. But she is one of the sweetest people you will ever meet. And it's totally genuine. It's who she is from her core. So I feel very lucky to have you in my life. I wanted to just tell people that she did start her bands, obviously very small. And then when she decided to sell them, I remember you and I talked a lot about, how maybe you do wholesale and how you do trunk shows. I was, I think, with you at your first trunk show at Faces, which I heard just unfortunately closed permanently. So and because she's so sweet, she never wants to be an imposition and she wants to make people happy.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
She's obviously grown her business exponentially. She started probably doing a couple thousand a month, and now it's a multi-million-dollar business. And you just moved into an amazing warehouse, right? For your staff, to streamline your process, because during the holidays, she gets backed up usually 4 weeks or more, right?
Yes, definitely. And we were up until like 2 months ago, they were all being made out of my garage.
It was a big garage.
It's a big garage, but it's still a garage. And it was my house. So I'm happy to be moved into a new studio so I could better separate my work life and my home life.
How far behind are you now? Like how many orders are you?
So I think we're about 700 orders behind, which is not too bad, actually. It's only usually like a week and a half, 2 weeks. But some of the products, we've been having issues with like overselling. So like the website, Shopify sometimes like messes up a little bit and they'll double sell things. And so then we're, either sourcing, having to find new stuff because a lot of our stuff's limited edition. So
right. You take a lot of used high-end designer bags, couture bags that cannot be used as bags any longer and give them a new life.
Yes.
which I love.
Thank you.
Very eco-conscious.
Yes. So, oh my gosh, for example, we just had this like black clear Dior and I've never found it again. And then for some reason, Shopify like oversold 11 of them
Oh
and
my
we totally ran
gosh.
out of material. And I've just been hunting and cannot find that bag anymore. So now it's
So
like,
if anybody's listening to this and you
yes.
have a black clear Dior, please contact Sparkle Bands.
Please do. It was from like the
Immediately.
1990s or something. And we have some customers that are so sad. And that's like the worst part is like disappointing people.
Yeah, it is. It's also, it's the biggest joy of being a business owner and the biggest disappointment.
Definitely.
Making them happy and then making them disappointed.
Yes.
How would your parents describe what you do for a living?
My parents are really proud, I think. You know, I've always been an entrepreneur. And I think at the beginning when I started my own company, my dad was a little like, you had a secure job at a marketing firm. You were just like getting going out of college. Like, what the heck? And then I think just through proving it and I'm very like goal oriented and
she's very hardworking.
I'm very
and
hardworking.
She's very competitive with herself. You could see like even the story about the completing your circles on your watch band.
Yes, I'm very hard on myself. Like I do like set very high expectations for myself. And I think it was like, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to like be successful and really work hard. But when my other business started dying, because like as Cannon said, like the market changes. So Poshmark came out. I was an online resale. I was making great money. Customers were like, wait a minute, I can sell my own stuff and people are selling their own stuff for like way less. Why would I buy yours for so high? It just like the market died. And when I shifted into watch bands,
which was sad for all of us.
It was
because
really sad.
A lot of us don't have the time or want to make the time to do it. So it was a really great resource.
I was really sad.
You had a lot of clients.
We had a lot of clients and I was so sad to have to tell them that I can't sell your stuff. But like I was selling it and really working my tail off and like making nothing. And my husband was like, what are you doing? You're working way too hard. But it was like disappointing people, I think that really kept me doing it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's probably also why you quit doing it. It's the same reason, because people were unhappy that you weren't getting enough money for their stuff. And
Yeah. So that was really why. It was like, I'm not getting as much money. And it was just like disappointing everybody. So it was just not filling my cup anymore, you know?
Right.
The watch bands were not taking off either. I was working really hard. I was doing trunk shows, which I am like petrified of being in front of people, which I know that sounds really weird because I'm on Instagram now, but like I have the worst social anxiety. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm not a social butterfly. No, it's like, I don't know. Our friend Rhonda talks about this, like being an extroverted introvert. I'm so that way. Like if I have to be on stage, I can do it, but like I'm petrified inside, you know?
But you do make it look easy. But I know you've worked very hard at it, the Instagram thing. So tell people a little bit about your journey from kind of those beginning days to now and just give them some tips too. Okay. Like I want people to know that you can literally start with nothing.
Yes.
I mean, you started just with a couple pieces of leather and making them all by hand to now you have how many employees?
More than 20 now. Yeah, it's crazy. And that's part of my growth experience too, is like not being so involved in the business and working on the business.
Knowing your strengths.
And knowing my strengths. So, yes, I started on Instagram, just like posting photos and, you know, like I was making some sales, but not like a lot of sales, not enough to feel like I was actually contributing to my family or feeling like success in any sort of way. I actually was feeling like so, like a failure.
You thought about quitting
I did.
Sparkle Bands a couple of times.
So I think it was a couple years where I would just like put out photos and I would do trunk shows and like, you know.
You did some wholesale.
I did some wholesale. I would sell
because I've carried your stuff for a long time.
Cannon was Ambiance was the very first store that sold Sparkle, which I'm so grateful. Like you've taught me so much about that whole aspect of the business.
As are we.
Oh, thank you. But so I was just putting out photos and things like that. And then the Spoiled Home, actually, Sandy from the Spoiled Home. She's like an internet blogger. I had sent her a watch band and she shared it on her Instagram story. And this was like, I think 1 or 2 weeks before, I was like talking to my husband about like, I think maybe I should just quit. Nobody's buying anything. Like, I feel really sad. If I could just sell one a day, I would be happy and feel like fulfilled. I could just make my one a day, contribute a little to my family, like feel like I was doing something. And he was like, if you love doing it, just keep doing it and don't put so much pressure on yourself. Like, we're fine. I'm doing great. Like, this is supposed to be for fun and enjoyable, and don't be so hard on yourself. Cause I was like, I'm just going to have to go get a job,
I think I was trying to figure out how I could hire you.
I was like, I can't not do anything. I can't not contribute. Like, yes. Okay. I can't just go play tennis all day. Like, that's just not me, like I want to feel like I'm doing something.
Well, and it's good for your
It is
psychology.
So your psyche.
They've done studies that show that when we give people money, even homeless people, that their self-worth actually goes down. So figuring out a way for people to actually
feel productive,
feel like they're deserving of what they're earning, it really changes how they feel about themselves.
Interesting. I like that. Okay, so the Sandy from the Spoiled Home shared it one day and shared one of my watch bands, and I suddenly, like, my phone was blowing up with that Shopify ringtone sound where it's like cha-ching, cha-ching. Yeah, and I'm like, what is going on?
Was this before you met Michelle? I can't remember.
Yes, it was before I met Michelle, I think. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't even know when you introduced me to Michelle now anymore. I'll have to go through my text messages. But it started going off, and then Joe started texting me and was like, is Shopify broken? Because he had it on his phone because he would monitor it too. And he's like, it keeps going off. Like, is something broken? Is the website broken? Did we get hacked? Like, what's going on? And I was like, I don't know. This is really weird. I mean, exciting, but weird. I'm like, are these real sales? Like, are people really buying things like this? It was just kind of like going off. And then I looked on Instagram and Sandy had shared it. And it was like, holy moly, what am I going to do now?
So how many did you sell that first day?
I think we sold like 100 in like 24 hours because the Instagram stories had just kind of started. I think before that, I think people were doing like Snapchat and now Instagram stories started coming out. So she had shared a story and that lasts for 24 hours. So like in that 24 hours, I think we sold like 100 watch bands.
Amazing.
And it was just me. And I'm like, holy moly, what am I going to do?
Did you have to recruit some friends?
Yes.
To help you make some watch bands?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. So I had to like call friends to help. Like Joe was helping. Our friends were over like adapting these. Were like our adapters used to be the screw-on kinds, and they would like be screwing in these tiny little screws on these watch bands. And like, oh my gosh, it was right before Christmas, December 3rd, because I just found out it was like our 3-year anniversary or whatever soon. But yeah, that was crazy. And then so that Christmas was crazy. It was wonderful, but it was stressful. And it was like,
and that was 2 years ago?
It was
3 years ago.
3 years ago on December 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember it wasn't that long ago. Because then I felt like you grew exponentially very quickly.
It was crazy. So
what are some tips if you were going to give if someone had a product they wanted to sell on Instagram?
So that was definitely like how it initially blew up, but like the onward trajectory, because like once you share it and then that's great. But like, I feel like people, if you want to have a successful online business that's like run by Instagram and stuff like that, you really have to put yourself out there and be the face,
or have somebody else that's willing
or
to
have somebody else do that if you want.
But case,
but I think people really want to feel connected to the brand, and
right.
There's so much competition out there now with online retail. There's Amazon, which you can you can buy anything on Amazon and it'll get to your house in 2 days. But yes, you want to be inspired to like make purchases. And I think now people are getting tired. And then I'm sure they're still buying like the cheap stuff on Amazon, but people are really like trying to find quality and trying to find
something they believe in,
a reason to buy and a reason to be inspired and to support.
Are you on Etsy too? Or
I'm not on Etsy.
You're not on Etsy? No. You were though for a while, right?
I was trying to find a way to get onto Reward Style, which is like an online affiliate network.
So here's the dirty little secret that people don't know about with influencers. They get paid to sell you stuff. Yeah. So
they do.
it may seem like that's their favorite spaghetti sauce ever, but chances are they're getting paid from that spaghetti sauce
It
company.
is true.
So, and not that it, I think most better, I would guess the ones that you work with, they
Mhm.
really do like and use the stuff that they support. I think it would be really hard to support something you don't believe in,
Mhm.
but I feel like most people don't know that.
No. And this was actually so
Explain what reward style is.
Yes. So Reward Style is an affiliate network program. So it's like you see it as like to know, and they have apps, and like a lot of the bloggers that you may follow might say like follow me on the Like to Know app, or they'll do like to know in their bio. But a lot of them get paid like a upfront fee just to share certain things. But when we were looking for influencers, and a lot of people would say, here's my rate card. And we'd say, hey, we would love to send you a watch band. Like, I love your style. I love what you stand for. You're inspiring to me. And we'd love to see our product on you if you want it. And they would send us a rate card. And for those influencers, we'd say, I don't, and this is just for me, and I know a lot of people like might disagree with me, but I want the women that we work with to wear our products because they genuinely like them, and they genuinely want to share them with their followers because they want to support a small business, because they want to support a female business, a female founded business, or because
And it's almost all females that work for you, right? Is
Yes.
there, I mean, I know Joe helps. Joe's her husband.
Yes.
But it's all females that,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes, we are, now that we're like in more of a like environment where we might have some heavy things. I think we are looking for like warehouse helpers, kind of things
Got it.
with big muscles. Not that women don't have big muscles, but like, people that can carry the things a little more easily. I'm like climbing up on boxes sometimes, like carrying these heavy boxes. We would always say to our influencers, like, we want you to love our products because you love our products, and we're not paying like an upfront fee. And if that's, if that's not okay with you, then that's okay. And we totally appreciate like you're running a business too and all that kind of stuff. But that's really what we were looking for.
I don't think most people know that the influencers are running a business.
They are, yes.
They're selling a concept, right?
Well,
Brand
a lifestyle,
themselves, right?
really.
Yeah, a lifestyle.
But I think initially influencers were, it started very organically, like people just sharing what they genuinely liked, and then in some with all of these affiliate networks and stuff like that, it became
Something else.
Yeah, it totally became something.
We
else.
were on Like to Know It as a store right when it started, and
That's amazing.
And it wasn't what it is now. It was just you could sign up as a store, and they would help feature your products through their site. As like a secondary option to get more awareness.
Yeah.
And it didn't really do anything for us. So we quit.
Amazing. And now they're huge.
And now they're huge.
Now it's like
and now I couldn't
impossible
get in it.
to get in.
Yeah, if I wanted to.
So my goal.
Unless I wanted to give them a kidney or something.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know what their specifications are, because literally I think I applied like 5 or 6 times. We applied and got denied every time, but they didn't give you like a guideline or a goal. So I'd be like, well, what am I supposed to get? What is my sales supposed to be in order to be on Reward Style? Like I just want to be there. I felt like the not cool kid, and I just wanted to be in the cool kid
Did you
club.
Have FOMO?
It's such FOMO, So
you could do what Michelle did and go in the back door.
Well, so that's what so like she went in a different way, but like
our friend Michelle owns Vintage Boho bags, which she's had a lot of success, and she's given Courtney and I a lot of free advice, and she really believes in helping other people. I love that about her. But she became an influencer herself.
Essentially became a blogger herself. And in order to get on there in the way that she went on there, she actually like set herself up as a blogger, and then like wrote blog posts and just started using her face on there so she could advertise for other people as well. And I went and tried another backdoor way too by going on Etsy, because Etsy is a like to know
affiliate.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, what if I can sell my stuff on Etsy, I guess, like some of my stuff. And then that way our blogger partners can also link us on Like to Know, because they were sharing us, but they couldn't link us on their Like to Know, which I wanted that. I don't know why.
Are you on there
needed it.
now?
We are.
You are.
So we were approved for like to know in I think like May.
Did Etsy help?
Etsy did not help. Etsy was like horrible because they like shut down our store and then held our money for like 6 months, which was really frustrating. So
Why?
they I don't know what happened, like what somebody reported us for trademark infringement, which is not true at all. I think it was probably somebody from our competition, and they wouldn't
You
like
have no competition.
well, we have copycatters, copy kitties, who are like, I think they just started reporting us and then they flagged our account and just shut it down with no questions asked, no warnings, no nothing, and just held our money, which was super frustrating because like we do sell upcycled stuff, a lot of it, but like we have a ton of stuff that's not upcycled. And I still wanted to be able to link that stuff because, and to be completely honest with you, I've never like shared what's going on. Our natural leather collections and all of that, those are outselling all of our upcycled stuff now, like our camo and
Well, you
our
just
fun
did a really
prints.
cool collab with who? Who again? It's the tie-dye
Oh
stuff.
yeah. So we are collaborating with Shibori Tie Dye, which they're out of Australia, and they do this like really unique hand dyed technique of tie dyeing leathers, and they're gorgeous and they're sustainable. They use the scraps. We contacted them because we like the patterns, but then they were like, we do these huge installs in hotels and things like that, and we have lots of scraps. So we like cut off the edges of the leather. Because I don't know if you've seen like a huge hide of leather,
Mhm.
but it's like
It's usually
jaggedy
it's
on
not
the
square.
outside.
Yeah.
It's not square. So
Yeah.
they
Well,
cut up
it's an
exactly.
animal.
It's an
so
animal. Yeah. I hate thinking about it that way, but it is.
it's a cycle of life.
I know it is. And they're all of our bands are like byproducts of the meat industry. So anyway, they took all their scraps that they've just kind of been holding to the side and they've been dyeing them for us. So in that way, it's like another sustainability aspect, which I love. And gosh, they're just gorgeous and they're unique and
They're really
huge.
pretty. So what were some of the biggest challenges? I know you just talked about a couple that you've had over the last few years.
Okay, so I like the challenges of not growing was hard emotionally, but the challenge of growing so fast was extremely hard. And it was just shifting from doing what I loved to being a manager of people, which is not my forte and is not what I'm successful at or what I
Doesn't
enjoy.
fill your bucket.
It does not fill my bucket. I am an empath, so I don't think that I am that good at directing people in a stern manner if they need to, and so like I'm too emotional, I think, to be like a manager. But that was really hard. And so another aspect of that change was finding people to fill that position. And so that's been really tough, like finding the right person and letting go of that control. And we're doing it now. We found an incredible general manager who is really able to take control and be extremely organized and follows through with everything. And I feel confident that we're going to be growing in a healthy way and fixing all the little problems that you find. Because like I think
So what are some of those problems?
like when you're delegating things to other people, not having processes in place is really hard. And when you only have
standards, I would imagine for your
Exactly.
industry, because it's you're considered
Standards.
probably a manufacturer.
Yes,
So
standards and procedures. So, I mean, you have a small business. Like when you're managing people, it's very important to have cut and dry procedures that you are training people to do to be successful in their job. We didn't have those procedures yet because it blew up in our face. And so we were breaking in a lot of ways. It was like, I didn't have time to like come up with procedures to train people on. So I was just saying, okay, we need all these embellished. Here's how you embellish. Okay, good. Now I've got to move on to this, and they're not doing it properly. And somebody's not there like really over their shoulder training them in how to do it properly and what it should look like.
or
And
having quality control, like
having
that's
the
a whole
quality
nother, yeah.
control. And that was really painful for me because I would get to hear about it on Instagram. I'd have customers reaching out and they would say, Courtney, like, I know that you really want a happy product, but this is crap. And I would be like, it would break my heart. And I'd be like, oh my God, that is not what I want my business to be. Like, I want somebody to be like so happy when they get my product. And so it's devastating to me. Like it brings me to tears right now because it hurts my feelings, you know? So anyway, getting over the like hurt feelings aside, like I think just breaking was hard. So, but we're fixing it now.